Yes, guys. Welcome in to the Calling Show. Hopefully, you guys are all well and enjoying this fine Saturday afternoon. Let me just get the lighting a little bit further up on this. I probably scheduled this for not a great time, given the fact that football's on. But yeah, my mind completely forgot that football was on, man, because City are playing at 8. But yeah, if you guys want to come on, make sure you're over 18. Become a YouTube channel member. Links in the description. Pinned comment might be there as well. And then go to the community tab and there's a StreamYard link that you can click and then boom, you can get yourself in. Luke is in the green room waiting, but Luke, I can't see your camera, bro. So I need your camera to come on, bro. If you wanna come on the show, just whack your camera on, lad, and then you can come on. Big up, man. So yeah, if anyone else wants to jump on, man. But I'll bring in Luke. Yes, bro, how you doing, man?
Yes, mate. How are we?
Yeah, have you seen I don't know if you've seen it, but the Matoma goal. Oh my god. Fucking
I've
unreal.
not seen it, bro. I've not seen it.
Bro, he picks up the ball, yeah, on like maybe the halfway line, dribbles through the whole Wolves defense and just puts it in the back of the net. Liverpool are having an absolute nightmare defensively. Like they look proper shit, man. But yeah, listen, bro. Talk to me, innit? Well, what's your thoughts? So where should we start? Let's talk about Danny Olmo, man, because obviously that's the thing that's looking at this splitting opinion. I'm on Twitter, yeah, looking at the Danny Olmo stuff and looking in the comments of my videos and stuff. There really is a split in the fan base at the moment about whether or not we want to go for Danny Olmo. Where are you at with it, bro?
It's a weird one, Danny Olmo, isn't it? Because like a lot of people say, no, it can be a Kevin De Bruyne replacement. And like we all watched him in the game against Bayern. Like I wouldn't put himself out to say he's a Kevin De Bruyne replacement personally. I'd say he's more of a Gundo replacement as opposed to a De Bruyne one. Don't know about you, but that's what I'd say.
To replace Kevin De Bruyne, I mean that's a difficult. I mean, I guess we are still at this moment in time looking for a Gundogan replacement, right? Because I don't think Kovacic was a Gundogan replacement. I think Kovacic was more like a squad builder. I think we would have got him if Gundogan would have stayed. I still think we would have signed Kovacic because it was great value and he beefs up the squad. So with Olmo, yeah, I probably would say at the moment in time it's probably still a Gundogan type replacement. And I think for me, you do have Foden in there. I still think maybe City are looking at Foden. Could he be the replacement for Kevin De Bruyne? I don't know, man. But listen, I think it'll be a decent buy. I really do. It's annoying because I could come round to Paqueta. Like at first, I wasn't really feeling Paqueta, but then like the more I looked into it, like the more I looked at his highlights, the more I looked at his numbers and all that, I can really sort of or Salah. Oh fuck's sake, he just missed a penalty and then scored the rebound. The more I looked into Paqueta, I really wanted it, but then. Yeah, obviously.
I'd rather have Paqueta as a player. I'd much rather have Paqueta personally with the Premier League experience and everything. But we all know what's going on there. And I mean, Foden can slot into that De Bruyne role, no problem. You know, like it's like in Kovacic as well. Kovacic coming in, he's not a goal scorer, so he's not a Gundogan replacement by any stretch. I don't think anyway.
No, I think it's
weird one, man.
Yeah, no, Kovacic. Yeah, Kovacic is going to be. I don't know, man. Like it's going to be a weird one with Kovacic because. I feel that because of the Kevin De Bruyne injury, and obviously right now because we've not got like a Gundogan replacement in, I think there's too much expectation on him. Like I've basically accepted that if he goes for the full 90 minutes and doesn't create a single chance, I ain't gonna complain because that's not his game. Like he's not there to create chances. Like he's never really done that. He doesn't score goals, so it's up to the other player, and that's obviously why we need this extra player, whether it be Danny Olmo or whoever we go for. You know what I mean? Like, will we even get Danny Olmo out of Leipzig? They've already sold 2-star players, so I don't know, man. It's going to be a madness. On the De Bruyne thing, though, bro, like this is another one that's maybe not within the City fan base, but like I've been on shows recently, and like opposition fans are trying to tell me that like this could like ruin our season with De Bruyne, and I'm saying I don't know, man. If it was the end of the season, I kind of understand, but. I'm a little bit more optimistic.
We're always like this at the start, though. We're always a bit edgy at the start anyway. I mean, this doesn't make it much better, like any different, even though we are missing, 6 of our starting 11 from last year with Gundogan going. Obviously, Mahrez wasn't consistent starting 11 anyway. But Gundogan going, then Stones is out, Diaz is out, Bernardo's out, De Bruyne is out. I say what's that? 6 of our starting 11 from last year.
Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it?
You know, so it is pretty mental. I know Vardy's coming in and Kovacic's coming in and all that, but yeah, it might be a tricky start for us this year. I think, especially against Newcastle, they're flying. They are flying.
Bro, like, oh my God, mate. Like, I'm not really a gambler, to be honest with you, but like a lot of my mates have a little dabble here and there, and some of them have put like 10, 15, 20 quid on Newcastle to win at 4-1, mate, because they just feel like it's going to be a win-win. If City win, then City win. But
Comfort betting though, innit? You always bet against your team, so then you win. You're a winner either
yeah.
way. You know what I mean?
Let me see if they've shortened in the market. Let me see. They're currently 14-5, so they've come down a little bit, but it's not like everyone's been backing them. But yeah, I listen. Newcastle fans are excited. You know, I've done a couple preview shows now with Newcastle fans. I've been texting a couple of Newcastle fans, and they're excited. They've never won at the Etihad in the Premier League, which I didn't even know. That's a crazy stat.
I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah, they're feeling that this is their opportunity, because obviously our team is just fucking injury hit. And like, I've done the preview yesterday. I don't know what he's going to do. Is he's going to start Cole Palmer right wing, or is he going to put Foden back out on the right and Alvarez in the middle? But then you've got Alvarez and Kovacic in the middle. Oh man, I just
don't like that. I don't like that.
Nah, I don't like that either. But then obviously, are we ready to throw Cole Palmer in to Newcastle? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't necessarily think that we're not ready to throw him in. I mean, I think he's had enough game time and he's done well so far. I know he did well against Arsenal when he played there. He done well in the game the other day. Like, I don't know. Would you throw him in?
I'm struggling to come round to the Cole Palmer thing. I really am, and I don't know why.
What do you mean? You don't like him?
I don't know. I can't make my mind up. Like I put something in the chat yesterday when we was playing in the Super Cup, and I was like, oh, I don't know about Cole Palmer. I'm not keen on that. And then he banged Neder in straight as I was typing it. I don't know. I think he's a top player, and I think he will be a top player. I don't think he should be starting in our team right now. I don't think though. Well, I don't know. I hope he's wrong. I really do.
Rather have. So this is the question: would you rather have Kovacic and Alvarez in the middle with Foden right wing, or would you rather have Kovacic and Foden in the middle with Palmer right wing? But I guess you could play Alvarez right wing, but I'm not a fan of that either.
Well, no, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. No, not for me. He's a central player. His finger is Alvarez, but I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's a weird one, and this is more the reason why we need a winger. Especially, you see, well, Mitoma, look at him. Like, come on now. Like, from what you said, like the goals. Like I said, I didn't see it, but if he's banging in goals, man,
mate, last year he got 10 goals, 8 assists. I can't believe no one's gone in for him, mate. I don't know what fee Brighton would want.
What price tag they putting on him, innit?
What you say, bro?
What price tag they putting on him? You know,
let's have a look at his details. Let's see what contract he's got. He's only contracted until 2025. He's only got 2 years left on his deal. I don't know, man. Transfer marked. Yeah, it's a funny website, transfer. I think it's class transfer marked, yeah, but they've got a transfer marked estimated value of 32 million euros. Yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, like, you got Caicedo going for 115.
That's ridiculous.
I think I'd be surprised if they let him go for less than 100 million. Genuinely. He got 18 goal involvements in the Prem last year.
He's a top player, man. He's a top player. I think he's slotting our team quite well as well.
Yeah, so the question is on Matoma. I tweeted about it before. He's only ever played 6 times on the right, and 4 of those were in Japan. 2 of them were in the Premier League last year, but every other time he's played left wing. So that's the only sort of thing that I could potentially think as to why maybe City haven't really gone in for him properly, because we may be looking for... I know ideally we kind of do need someone who can play on the left, because we've only got Jack Grealish, really. But maybe we're looking for... Like Jeremy Doku, his numbers are a lot more balanced between the left and the right, whereas Mitoma, it's 99% left wing. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only reason I can think. But still, I'm very surprised that there's no other clubs in Europe that haven't gone for him, because he's a top player.
You get Doku cheaper as well, though, won't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably about half the price. He looks decent, man. Like I said, I watched him last weekend against FC Metz, and the guy cooked. You know what I mean? He was fucking class.
You're paying less for Doku and what was almost release clause, like 47 million or something. If you put them two together, that's still less than what they'll probably have.
Yeah, so almost release clause, that's next year. So
was it?
Yeah. Because this is the thing. This is what people are saying online is, how much would Leipzig sell Olmo for this summer? Because if they keep him and don't sell him this summer, then I can guarantee you now, someone in Europe is going to activate that release clause next summer. You know what I mean? Because it's just, I mean, looking at the market now, that is just, he's probably about, know what I mean? It's probably worth about 80 million quid at Danny Olmo, 70 million quid. So to get him for 50, you know what I mean? That's incredible value. So how much would you sell him for now? Because you can push the price and be like, no, we want more because he is worth more. But then if you push it too high, the club, whether it be City or whoever else, will just be like, you know what? Sack it. We'll just come back next year and activate his release clause for 50 million. So I don't know. I reckon you might go up to like 65, maybe 70.
Yeah, at the maximum, I think.
You can't really go any higher than that, bro. Because if you go higher than that, you might as well just fucking wait until next year, unless you're desperate, which some people might say that City are desperate. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yo, big up to Farhad says KDB is irreplaceable. Foden, Alvarez, Bernardo Silva time. Yeah, well, I agree on the KDB is irreplaceable. Bernardo's out ill. And which is, by the way, that might be why we've not heard, because rumor has it that he's going to sign a new deal. That might be why we've not heard any announcement on the Bernardo, because he's ill. But yeah, if I had seen him in the game for Foden and Alvarez in the middle, the only thing with that is you don't really have too much ball control there, isn't it? That's a very sort of like aggressive attack.
They're both risky players, aren't they?
100%. Yeah. What's your thoughts on this one, bro? This is another sort of talking point. What would you rather go for Wirtz than Olmo? I mean,
easy one for me, my friend. That's an easy one for me.
Oh, go on.
I'm on the Wirtz train.
Are you?
Yeah, I am, mate. I'm all in for that guy. All in.
How much would you pay up to for Wirtz? He's only 20 years old as well, isn't he? But how much would you pay?
That's what I mean. He's a top player, and it's weird to say how much in this market. You know what I mean? Like if we're buying Jack Grealish for 100 million, and then you know. With Man City, we don't pay a stupid amount of money for players, but 90 million quid, City will probably pay that. I think City will pay that.
What, 90 million?
Yeah.
Do you think he could be a KDB replacement?
He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old and he's already slamming it as it is. Of course, I think he could be. I don't think anyone can replace De Bruyne. No one can replace De Bruyne, but I think he's the closest we could get. I might get cooked for saying that, like, but I think he is, man.
Check this out, man. Emerick Laporte has accepted a 3-year contract from Al Nassr, 15 million euros a season. The Saudi Arabian team will pay 25 million to the Manchester City for the defender. So that is a lot more than the 16 million that went round last week, which was a fucking joke, but I mean, it's still a joke, to be honest with you. At 25
million for a player like him is unreal, man.
I don't get it, man. I just don't get how clubs in Europe just ain't going for him. It's
about how much a player is worth to that club, though, in it as well. Like, look at Declan Rice; he was worth 105 million to West Ham. If we're going to be honest, Laporte is probably worth 25 million to us because we're never going to play him.
That's it. You are right. You are right. But it's a sad time, man. Because, like, say he was worth something to us. Say, like, he was still playing for Manchester City, which he could do because he's that good. Like, oh, mate, he's like a 70 million pound defender all day long. But as you say, he's now our sixth. And I think this is why maybe the Leipzig deal with Gvardiol went on longer. My theory was with the Gvardiol thing that the deal was done a long time ago. But City were trying to get rid of Laporte because they knew that if they get Gvardiol in, everyone's going to know that like you're not in a position to negotiate because everyone knows he's a sixth choice centre back. So, like you say, with Declan Rice with West Ham, they didn't want to sell the player, but obviously the guy had ambitions to play Champions League football. He wanted to leave, so to get him out of the football club, it's the same with Caicedo at Brighton. So yeah, no, you are right on that one, bro. What's your thoughts on tonight, anyway?
I'm petrified, mate. It's a weird one because it's our first game back at the Etihad since we won everything last year. It's our first game back at the Etihad. It's the first time a lot of the home fans are going to see the team again, and I couldn't think of a worse team to play against than Newcastle at the minute, man. And I don't mind it if we don't get a win, as long as we take out a draw in this game because we know how we are at the start of the season. And
did you watch them against Aston Villa last week, bro?
They're good, man.
They were going forward, mate. They were frightening. And of course, Diaz is out. Well, Diaz, I don't know if Diaz is out. It's like a 50-50, innit, by the sounds of it. John Stones is out. I am not looking for if Ake and Akanji play at centre back. Oh, I'm not looking forward to that, man. That was the same part. We played that against Seville. We were poor. We played it against Man United away at Old Trafford last year. We were poor. Like, nah, not for me. And what's your thoughts on the Gvardiol left back? Because I know obviously going forward that is going to be his position, but I just thought against Seville that we would have been better. Me personally, my own opinion, feel free to disagree, that Ake would have been better playing left back and Gvardiol in the middle, because then we would have had a player who in the middle who could play balls forward, where we didn't have that. I don't know.
Yeah, I back it, mate. I back it. I think Ake left back and Gvardiol in the middle. This whole Akanji inverting into the middle is ridiculous. It didn't work. I don't think it will ever work, man. Like, granted, he got into like the Milan box in the final and helped us get that goal and everything, but no, he's not the one for going forward for me. I put Gvardiol in there, mate. I would do it, yeah. Until Stones is back, I put Gvardiol in there. He's our best ball playing defender at the minute.
I agree. I agree. For me, the reason I don't know if I would do it is, and I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, I'm just like, don't know, is because like the guy's just like brand new to the team. And John Stone said it's so difficult and he's still learning. And I'm just like, would you throw him in to that difficult, complex position so early in his career? Like,
I'd say, yeah, because like Stones, he'd always played like centre back when he was at Everton. He's always played centre back. He'd always played as a defensive player. Whereas, you know, what's his face? Gvardiol, he's not always played as a defensive player. He's played left back, he's played right back, he's played on the wing, he's played in midfield. So he's got the experience of going up the pitch. Granted, it's probably a long time ago, like, but I think he's the best person to do it. Well, until Stones is back.
Rico Lewis. Me personally, yeah, I hear what you're saying. By the way, I don't actually disagree with what you're saying. It's just for me, I don't know. I just feel that like it kind of stinks of he'll play the inverted position and he'll do bad and he'll just get cooked and it'll just be like, fuck's sake, you know what I mean? For me,
we don't have to invert a player, man.
That is also true. You know what I mean? We can just go back to like normal football. You know what I mean? Just play normal football. But if you wanted to, I probably would go Rico Lewis. But then who'd you drop? Ake or Walker? Or do you drop Gvardiol? Like, that's the thing. I like Rico Lewis in there. And I think Rico Lewis in that midfield position, man. I think he's scary for opposition teams because he's so quick. You know, I keep saying, don't I, that I think he's only him and Foden are the players in that midfield who can get the ball and just go forward with it rapid because they're small guys and low center of gravity and quick off the mark. I think he's great in that position.
And he's young, he's learning quick and everything, though.
And with Rico Lewis, like, he's already played big games. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's like I don't know, it could be a risk. I don't know. I just think it's a difficult one. But as you just said, we don't actually have to play an inverted player. Like, you know what I mean? We can just go back to playing how we used to. I mean, we still have Cancelo.
No.
Should whack Cancelo left back for the vibes before he goes. You're not game for that, no?
No, not at all. I wouldn't even put him on the bench, mate. I keep him as far away from the Etihad as possible, man.
No, I agree with you.
Last time he was in the Etihad, you know what he did. So, well, apart from with Bayern, like, and we know what happened there as well. So,
yeah, no, I know. Just quickly go through the halftime scores around the league. Let's have a look. Fulham getting beat at home to Brentford 1-0. Visser scored there. Liverpool now 2-1 up after being 1-0 down to Bournemouth. They had a terrible first 10 minutes. Mohamed Salah scored both. Oh no, he didn't. He scored one goal, but missed a pen. But did score the rebound. And Luis Diaz with a nice finish. We got Wolves against Brighton. Wolves are currently 1-0 down thanks to an incredible Matoma goal. Guys, if you've not seen the Matoma goal, please go online, go on Twitter, go on Reddit or whatever. You've got to go and find the Matoma goal. It's one of the goals of the season already. And of course, United play Tottenham at 5:30 at Tottenham. That's going to be an interesting game, that one. I think that's going to give us a sort of idea of where both teams are at, because I didn't see the Tottenham game last week. I don't know if you've seen it, but apparently they played all right. I think they drew, didn't they? But they played all right, apparently, under that new manager, Postecoglou.
I think he'll do all right, man. I do think he'll do all right. It'll take him a while, like. It's Tottenham in it, but he might do all right.
Yeah, especially if he keeps starting Richarlison up front, man. That'll end badly, but I think that'd be decent, man.
I'll tell you what's funny, my mate. I'll tell you what's funny. Leverkusen are playing Leipzig right now. Olmo v Wirtz, and they've both scored. Wirtz just scored just now.
I knew Olmo scored. No way is Wirtz just scored as well.
Just scored a minute ago, yeah.
I'm going to check the goal, man. Let me have a look. Let me check the goal.
It's like they're competing for a place at City, you know.
As if they both scored. That's crazy. Right, let me have a look. Has he literally just scored now? Yeah.
Just scored now, yeah.
Oh, he's put them up. But you ever been on this Reddit's back page of the internet, bro?
No.
It's class, yeah. Reddit, back page of the internet, and it gives you all the goals, and you can just watch all the goals as they go in. It's fucking unreal. So I want to see this. I want to see this Vissa goal. Here it is. Oh no, not Vissa. Wirtz. Right, like Leverkusen, 3-1 up. Let me take a look. Let me see this guy that you want, man. You put your stocks all into this guy. Let's have a look. Let me see. Where is he? Oh. I don't know if he's like kind of scuffed it, but it was a decent run into the box. A bit Lampard-esque, that. Yeah, nice little finish. I think I don't know if he scuffs it and then like it comes off like his bottom of the foot and then hits the ball and then goes over the top of the goalkeeper. But yeah, decent. Obviously, like you say, I almost scored before as well, which was pretty crazy. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Tottenham game. I think it's going to be good because United were arse against Wolves the other day. They were so bad. There's a lot of injuries in both teams as well. We say, Rob?
It was terrible. Everyone was backing Wolves to go down as well with everything that's going on there, and for him to come out and play United off the park. Let's be honest, they did. United ain't looking good this year, and that was a penalty at the end. We all know that, but United ain't looking good this year. Wolves probably won't do well this year. So I mean,
yeah, Wolves just need someone who can put the ball in the back of the net, bro. Because that Kuna and what's the other lad called with the mad hair? What's he fucking called? Fernandez or some shit like that. He plays for Wolves, and he had pure chances as well, and he fucked it. So it tells me that they need a goal scorer, man. It tells me that they need a goal scorer. To be honest with you, let me see what else is going on in the world at the moment. Big up for coming on, by the way, bro. Appreciate it, man.
All good, man. All good.
I was prepared just to sit here for half an hour on a calling show without actually anyone coming on, but you made it a lot easier.
No, I'm right. Well, when you put in what time you free, I was like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, and I was like, oh shit, we're playing at 8.
Yeah. Let me see what else is going on, man. Oh, I want to speak about Shea Charles actually, guys, because he played today for Southampton. Southampton got a 2-1 win against Plymouth Argyle, and Southampton fans, he got player of the match apparently, and they are raving about him, saying how good he is. So I do know some shit about football. When I'm doing them academy streams, me and Gav, mate, listen up, because they're raving about him now. We sold him for what, 8 million, something like that, and he will be sold in a couple of years to a Premier League club, and we will get a lot of money there. But I don't know if you ever see Shea Charles, but he's a class player, you know. I really think he's well underrated in that academy. He really was underrated player.
I mean, if we didn't have the players that we had, he could have broke into the first team, but we're stacked in that position, you know what I mean? So it's difficult for him to find his way in. But did we put a buyback on him, do you know? Or is it just a sell on?
Surely we put a buyback on. Surely. We would have been dumb if we didn't put a buyback on. Or actually, yeah, maybe it was just a sell on clause. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. But yeah, whatever happens, we'll get some cash out of it in the future because he's going to be a top player, in my opinion. I mean, the fact that he was already in the Northern Ireland squad before he even played a game for City was impressive to me. And you just watch him. He's a very, very good player on the ball. He can play centre-back if you absolutely need him to, step into midfield and carry the ball forward. He's a top player. We're going to get some decent cash out of him soon. Lazuli says, LB started to stream while matches are on. To be honest, bro, I completely forgot because the game was on tonight at 8 p.m. I was like, buzzing, yeah, I was scheduled to stream for 3:30. And then I was at the gym and I come back and I was like, oh shit, football's on. And I was like, should I reschedule it? And I just thought, fuck it, can't be asked rescheduling it. I'll just do it now anyway. Plus, technically, y'all in the UK shouldn't be watching football anyway because it's illegal, isn't it? You know what I mean? So I'm definitely not watching anything right now. See what else people are saying. Wonder if City Scouts and Pep watching this Olmo versus Wirtz, says for Muddy Centurions. To be honest with you, I don't think we're going to go for Wirtz, man. I'd like Wirtz. I'd take Wirtz. Obviously, Luke says he'd want Wirtz at City, but I just think that's going to cost dough. What did you say before? 90 million, you reckon?
Yeah, we'll probably end up paying that. We would pay 90 million. I don't think we're paying more. I think they'd want more. than that for him. And realistically, I don't think we'll get him, and I don't think he will end up with us. I just think he's a top player, man. I think he suits our club down to a T.
Yeah, no, I agree. And what I've said about Wirtz in the past is I just think that it's a summer or two too early for him at City. I thought that maybe next year or the year after, basically when Kevin De Bruyne basically hangs up his boots or whatever, that would be the time. However, having said that, you now have to look at the fact that Kevin De Bruyne is getting regular injuries. He's just had surgery at 33 years old, and maybe now's the time to go and get him. You know, maybe now's the time to go and get him. But obviously,
it's sad, man. What's going on with De Bruyne? I mean, he's, like you say, he's 33 years old. He's having surgery and everything. I think, realistically speaking, as City fans, we're going to have to say we might need to get somebody in to look in the future now.
Yeah, I agree. And what I'd also say is, if we are going to get someone in to sort of replace Kevin De Bruyne, I'd like to get him in before we get rid of Kevin De Bruyne. You know what I mean? So he has a year to adapt. You know, kind of like we did with Rodri, with Fernandinho. Rodri come in, and he had that year, and he wasn't great in that first year, in my opinion. But he had that year. There wasn't a lot of pressure on him. He could learn from Fernandinho, and then boom, he was the man the year after, and he was class. And that's when the pressure hits. But he had that year to settle in. Because people always say, don't they? You know what I mean? Players coming into Man City, they usually need a year to sort of settle in. So you don't really want to be losing. You don't really want to be losing Kevin De Bruyne, and then big up Luke. I don't know if he's disconnected there, but big up Luke for coming on. I don't know if you want to lose Kevin De Bruyne and then get a replacement in the same window and then have that year bedding in period when you just lost Kevin De Bruyne. Not for me. Not for me. Yo, listen, big up to Cundinho, bro. Abdallah, big up, bro. Thank you very much for becoming a YouTube member, bro. Appreciate it. And welcome to the squad. Thank you, bro. I'm probably going to stay on the stream for another 5-10 minutes, bro. So if you fancy coming on, oh, he's already here. Fucking hell, look how quick he is there. Big up.
How are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good, bro. Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, to be quite honest. I'm doing good. I'm recovering from an operation.
Oh, shit.
I had an operation. This is basically replacing the operation that I had at 1.5, 2 years old. So it was like it's kind of expired and kind of worn away, and that's why I've been having a lot of health issues for the past 6 and 7 years.
Oh, shit, man.
So yeah.
I will wish you well anyway, and especially with the
recovery. It's boring. I'm getting fat, and I'm not allowed to do a lot of walking and not allowed to go to the gym for about I think 6 to 8 weeks. It's already 3 weeks down, so hopefully 3 weeks and everything gets back to normal.
So what you're saying is, bro, that by the end of this 8 weeks, you're going to be a top football scout who's watched every single football game from now to the 6 week ends, and then you're going to come back to us in 6 weeks and go, LB, chat, this is the guy, 18 years old, plays in the French 4th division.
Do you know what? Sometimes when I super chat, it's me, Cundinho, Abdallah, Whenever I super chat, I think people misunderstand my super chat. People misunderstand my super chat sometimes, and I'm happy that we backed out of the Paqueta deal. The problem is there has to be a backup plan. For us to have such an exceptional board, one of the top boards, there must be backup plans. There must be. We knew KDB was getting injuries for years and years. We've managed that without him. There should have been a backup plan for Gundogan. There must have been contingency plans. That's what sometimes irritates me with the board. I'm not the board out, and just like I feel like people don't criticize the board, and I feel like it's just sheep mentality where you can never question anything they do. Just because if you question something, then or criticize anything, it feels like you're against them. It makes and that's why it's only you I'm subscribed to from the City fan channels, because I just feel like it's just toxic positivity and you get just shot down and you don't have an opinion.
I think what it is I think you know what it is with any sort of criticism towards the board people find it difficult to accept any sort of criticism when we've been successful as we have, and we've just won the treble. I think for me, there's two things. One, reasonable levels of criticism. So if you're going sick at the board, like get this guy out, then that's probably a little bit unreasonable. and two, it's also about sort of like where we are in the process. So I think with the midfield situation, right? If you look at the attacking midfielder, I mean, I don't know if you was in the stream the other day when I was speaking about this, but I feel that the Jude Bellingham thing has really sort of muddied our transfer sort of strategy for the attacking midfielder. Now, I don't know how much blame you can put on the board for that, because they clearly wanted Jude Bellingham because they thought he was going to be this top player, could be a Ballon d'Or winner potentially, and they wanted to go for him. The problem that we have with the Jude Bellingham situation is we neglected other targets, understandably to a certain degree, because we was all in for Jude Bellingham. And if we went to Rice and said, oh, yeah, we want Rice, and do you want to come to City? And he was like, yeah, but then we ended up getting Jude Bellingham. Like, is that the way that City want to be seen to do transfer business? The problem is the Jude Bellingham situation dragged on too long. Yeah. Jude Bellingham didn't make a decision quick enough.
For me, the club should have set a deadline. They should have set a deadline for Jude to give us an answer. If we don't get an answer or the answer that we wanted, there should have been backup plans, multiple backup plans.
Because the backup plan, bro, was Rice, and then. But the problem with Rice is Rice had already said to Arsenal and Arteta he was going to Arsenal. So the only way City would have got him is if Arsenal didn't meet the fee, and they was always going to meet the fee, man. You know what I mean? They'd gone too deep into it. Then obviously the Lucas Paqueta thing has come along. We've gone in for him, and look, this is just like a one in a lifetime type of event.
I think what you misunderstood from my super chat, I think it was yesterday or the day before, was that it was rightly so for the board to back out, but there should have been a couple of backup plans. There should have been a couple of backup plans, considering what's the role of the scouts then? I understand Cheeky deals with paying the release clauses, negotiating the prices. Fair enough, but what do the scouts do then? They should be. Apparently, we have the best scouts. Then what's the backup plan? And I don't think I understand people love the academy. For me, McAtee is the only viable option. Cole Palmer, I'm a huge critic of his. He's proven me wrong, and rightly so. But I just want to see consistency on the big occasions where there's huge pressure. I want him to deliver. I think he holds onto the ball quite a lot sometimes. He needs to kind of release it quickly as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just slightly worried about now the Doku deal, because Chelsea have come into the mix. I don't know. They want what, 55 million euros? That's a bargain. He's basically a Sterling regen, if not better. Just pay the money, or just look at other targets, because I just feel like the board either the board or the scouts are kind of letting Pep down, leaving him with.
I think the Doku deal, bro, should get done rapid, because at the moment we do need a winger and we do need an attacking midfielder. Yeah, this attacking midfielder now for me is more of a problem, because who are you going to get? There's no one really seriously identified. Obviously, we've identified Olmo, but we don't even know if Leipzig are going to sell him. Doku is there, and as you said, go and pay the money, get him in. That takes a little bit of pressure off. Say you get that done on Monday or Tuesday, right? You've then got what, like 10 days to just go focus on this attacking midfielder. What you don't want to be doing is dragging this Doku deal out. Oh, we want to say 5 million here, 3 million here, like add-ons. Just get the deal done, and then you can focus and put all your energy into that midfield. I don't think
we should be dealing in that, because how much money do we make of the prize money from winning the treble?
Yeah,
and where it feels like self-sabotage. It feels like self-sabotage from both the scouts and the board. Like, deliver, because otherwise Pep has just been left short. Like, there should have been a deadline over Gundogan's. It's like everything's been like a domino effect within regards to our transfer business. Like, everything needs to be done. I don't know what's happening with Palmer. I would love him to compete with Doku, but I don't know. It feels like I have like a gut feeling he might leave on a permanent, because you heard him say he might leave. It's either sell or keep.
It's a shame with Palmer. He just didn't play enough last year. Luke, let me bring you in on this. Where's your? Do you think any criticism towards the board is fair? Do you think? Where do you what's your stance on it?
I don't know, mate. I don't know about that. Look where we are, and look what we've just achieved over the last year. I think the last thing we should be doing is pointing fingers at the board and saying, "You've not done this. You've not done this. You should have done this. You should have done this." We're the best in the business when it comes to that. Like we make the right transfers. We don't overpay for players. We don't get into these back and forths. Trying like, oh, we'll pay 5 million less than you're asking. We'll get the job done straight away. No messing about. So. I don't criticise the board at all, man. Granted, this year we've not got targets that we wanted. Yeah, but it all happens for a reason, man.
I also feel that, like, maybe because one of the reasons people who are not really too happy with what's going on with the board at the moment is because obviously the current situation. I think that if we get to the end of the transfer window, and obviously we've not signed a winger, we've not signed a midfielder, I think that like when if someone criticises the board, you'll probably get more acceptance of that view. Whereas if you come in now and say, oh, like they've messed up here, which I do think they've messed up to a certain degree, because the Gundogan situation was poor, the midfield situation has been poor, and we've still not got a winger, but there's still 2 weeks to go to rectify it. And I still think they will rectify. But obviously, if we get to the end of the window and we've not rectified it, then that will be a problem.
I mean, you're right, mate. You're right. But if we look at like last season, like look at what everyone was saying. Oh, we need a fullback. We didn't sign a fullback all last season when we was going through the transfer window. Everyone was fuming that we didn't sign a fullback. What did Pep do? John Stones went into the midfield, and then Cancelo went, and everyone was panicking. Oh, we've not got any fullbacks. We're not going to do anything without a fullback, so we won treble. So like, don't panic. Don't sit back. The board have got it. Everything happens for a reason. We'll see if they messed up by the end of the year.
Yeah, no, that is fair. You got to judge it at the end, I guess. But then people will say we should have done this earlier. That's football, man. It's
do you reckon why we're not spending this 300 million cash price war chest because of the investigation of the FFP investigation by the Prem?
I don't know, bro. To be honest with you, it's a difficult one.
That's all I can think of why we have this 300 million war chest from prize money, not even from and this is excluding the sales of last summer and this summer, because we're like plus 100 million at least on selling academy players and first team players from this season and last. So
I don't think so, because the cash is there. They were going for Bellingham. They wanted Rice. Like, the cash is available to spend. I think it's just a case of, as Luke said, that they don't want to overpay for players. And now we're in this weird situation of, because obviously they do want to sign a winger. You know what I mean? So they do want Doku. That's 50 million quid. They want an attacking midfielder. That depends who you're going to go for. It could be 60 if you get Dani Olmo. But they wanted to spend 100 million on either Bellingham or Rice. So I do think the cash is there. I just think that obviously it looks right now that they maybe are being a bit hesitant with the cash. I just think it's the way that the transfer window has gone. But obviously, come the end of it, you're going to have signed Gvardiol for 77. You've got Kovacic in at 25. You're going to get probably Dani Olmo or someone like that at around 60 to 70 million, and Jeremy Doku at 50. I just think right now, obviously, we've still not got two big purchases.
My only issue with Dani Olmo is just ever since, let's say, it's gone positive for us in terms of when targeting Spanish players. It just feels like Barca or Madrid, especially Barca, always come calling for our Spanish players, and that's what kind of puts me off getting Spanish players. Like, I have no issue with Spanish players. It's just that only issue, because it feels like Barca seem to always unsettle our Spanish players for some reason, and unfortunately they haven't unsettled Rodri, because I've always had Barca fans in my ear saying we're coming for Rodri next.
No, I don't think they'd be able to afford Rodri for me. But no, you are right. And Dani Olmo, I was reading an article this morning. Apparently, has a separate release clause in his current contract with Leipzig. Yeah. Something I can't remember the full details, but essentially, if Barcelona or Real Madrid come in, that like you can go maybe even like a reduced price or some shit like that. So, listen, it's just obviously it's the same with Sane. You're German, you probably want to go play for Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? You're Spanish, you probably want to go, the way the game is.
Well, you don't get that with French players. They don't want to go back to Ligue 1. It's only the ones that are injury prone or are down in the pecking order of the other top leagues, and they just kind of resign and lower their expectations and then go back to France. So yeah, and the thing with Eredivisie players, it's only I think we have a good. I think they're good. They're good, but I think what's put us off probably is it's Erik ten Hag's record with them, because I think they're good. I generally think they're good. It's just under certain management, they're not that good. For me, I tell you this: Eredivisie is more competitive than Bundesliga and
that's true.
Liga.
Bro, because you know my agenda against the Eredivisie, bro. I hate that league, man.
No. I was born in Rotterdam. I'm half Dutch, and this is why I advocate for a lot of Dutch players. And for
you
me,
bias then, bro. You bias.
Yeah, I know. But this is the thing. Ajax have always dominated that league, yeah, and it's only three winners. We haven't won. Feyenoord haven't won it since 2016-17, and they won it this season by like, it was very competitive between them, PSV, and Ajax. So it's more competitive than Liga and more competitive than Bundesliga. So that I don't know why people want to talk down that league. It's much more better than those two leagues.
You know what it is, bro? I don't even necessarily talk down the league. I like the league. I think it's a good league tactically, and the way that the game is played over there is class. You know what I mean? I don't know. I've seen too many players come from that league, and maybe like I just focus on certain players and I go, oh, Eredivisie, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know. At least I'm open with my agenda, though. You know what I mean? It's not some secret shit.
Me,
I always disclose it, bro.
It is an overrated league. Let's be honest. But I do agree with you when you say it's more competitive than Bundesliga, because it is more competitive. But I don't think the players from over there do adapt very well in the Premier League. Look at United, for example. They're trying to clear out the Eredivisie, and look where they are. For me, Erik ten Hag is looking fraudulent. That's why I call him Eric Teabag, because he looks very fraudulent.
I was gutted when he went to United, because I thought he was going to be a future replacement for Pep, because we were linked to him when his contract was running down. We were linked him strong to Erik ten Hag because he plays a similar style, but he looks very fraudulent. He's got. Who do
you think is the replacement for Pep? Are you on the company train now?
Companies to prove a bit more, but he looks very promising. But maybe because he's dealing with limited resources. But for me, maybe Enrique or someone else. I don't know.
De Zerbi, boys. Apparently they're 4-0 up against.
De Zerbi, maybe. If he wins Europa, then if he wins Europa this season, which I think he'll push hard for, I generally think he might win it, because I don't see anyone else in Europa League actually. I have Aston Villa winning the Conference League, and then they'll win Europa League the following year with Emery easily.
I think De Zerbi's up there at the moment, you know, because Pep loves him. He's always talking about him, innit? And obviously they do. To be fair, if you watch them play football, they are unreal. And I think Pep, you know what I mean? Pep said, was it last year when Pep said, it was just before the Brighton game, he said they're the best team in the world at playing out from the back. And I was kind of like, why is he saying that for? You watch him though, they are absolutely phenomenal at playing out from the back. You know what I mean? They're unreal. So I think it's at the moment. Yeah, Enrique, because he's only got a 2-year deal at PSG, which is sus.
Yeah.
So Enrique, De Zerbi, and probably Company are the three that spring to mind. Why, Luke? Who would you say?
Those three. I don't think anyone else kind of is
very. I agree, man.
I don't think anyone
one of them too.
I'm on the Company train though.
I'm well and truly on the. I'm trying to think logically when I say the two that you just mentioned, but I am on the Company train, man. I'm just
I'll
scared.
Put Company second off Enrique. I put Enrique first, then Company second, and then third De Zerbi.
Yeah, I think the thing is with Company, if he does become the City manager and he does do well, he'll be here for a long time. The only problem is I don't want to tarnish his legacy as well. Like, look what Ollie did at United. Right?
But the thing is, though, bro, that there, right? That's down to the individual, right? So I've already said, if Vincent Kompany comes into Manchester City and manages the team and does shit, right, and he gets sacked, I can separate the two. You know what I mean? If someone asks me about Kompany, I say absolutely brilliant as a player, one of our best players ever, one of our best captains ever. Didn't do it as a manager. It's not for me. It won't tarnish anything about it. It's up to the individual to be able to separate the two. You know what I mean? And I still think with United fans, if they speak about Ollie, it's two different Ollies. You got the Ollie, the player who won them the treble, or Ollie, the manager who was fucking abysmal. Like I can separate the two out, man.
I think having company in charge, I'm all for it, but I think it might divide the fan base, because then there'll be some that will not want him out but criticize him, and then people will probably be like, he's our club legend and we're not allowed. You're clearly against him. You want him out if you criticize him any way possible. Just like how some people may criticize Pep, because I criticized Pep with the Champions League final CDM decision. So I think any type of criticism may kind of split the fan base anymore. Because
it's like Arsenal and Arteta, isn't it? Like look at the Arsenal fan base. One minute they like Arteta out. Next minute they're like Arteta's the best in the league.
Because what I've seen is that I've seen Lee Gunner point it out, and I've seen the fan grams from my own point of view as well. Any type of criticism that is pointed at Arteta, Robbie comes in and then shuts them down. It's like a lot of fan channels have become like echo chambers and toxic positivity. You can't criticize the club. You cannot criticize the club or the manager, otherwise you're not a true fan. So that's what's
I don't think I've ever heard one City fan saying Pep out, this, that, like wherever they've actually meant it. Like he's been solid for us the whole time, you know.
No, 100%. I'm just trying to check this. McAllister's just been sent off, man.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat.
59th minute.
Yeah, was it still 2-1, bro?
Yeah, it's still 2-1. I think so. Yeah. And let me double check.
Let me go on the Reddit, man.
Yeah, it's still 2-1. Yeah, it's 60th minute now, and it's 2-1. And
there it is. Let's check it out, man. Honestly, you gotta get on this Reddit thing.
He's playing in the CDM position, by the way, as well. He's playing in the CDM / number 8 role. So yeah.
What's he done?
That Brighton Wolves result was wild.
Oh, what is it? 4-0? Is it
4-0? Yeah.
4-0.
I've got this McAllister thing on now. Let me see.
Yeah, Wolves are going down. Wolves are definitely going down.
Tottenham might do a number on United tonight, or whenever they're playing them.
Yeah, but can they score goals, bro? That's the thing, isn't it? Against like a decent, I say decent defense. I don't think it is a decent defense.
It's fine. Onana will come out and give him a penalty. It's all good.
Let's
have a look at this red. Oh, I don't think that's a red card.
He's just Onana's just a parody version of Edison. Version of Edison from Cameroon.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly, you know that Onana, yeah? I didn't even think... I thought he'd done all right against Wolves. I was on Twitter the day after. I was like, everyone was gassing him up like he had a mint game. I was like, what? It's like, he made some great saves. He made like one decent save. Like,
he's Superman punch one of the players, man.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know what's going on
He's just living off that UCL final hype. That's all he's living off.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. 100%.
But for me, I don't care what anyone says. Edison is right now the best goalkeeper in the world. He can save and he can play from out the back, and then his long kicks are good as well. So I think he's the best goalkeeper right now, definitely. Like
I think if he continues, he's like at the end of last season, he's saving shit that he doesn't normally do. I think if he continues with that, I agree. I thought that was the one thing that kind of let him down, but towards the end of last season, he really sort of improved. I completely agree, because for me, it's funny when I speak to Liverpool fans, man, because I honestly genuinely think that on the ball, Edison is so clear of Alisson. Like, I think Alisson is a good player on the ball, but Edison is clear. Like, he's so clear on the ball, it's unreal. But Alisson's unreal at shot stopping. He's clear of Edison. Now, I don't think Edison will catch up Alisson, but if he can get semi-close, then I think you're right. I think he probably is the best goalkeeper.
What does he have that Alisson doesn't have? He's got more Golden Gloves. He's got more Premier Leagues, more FA Cups, more League Cups. He's got a Champions League. That's what Alisson has. He already has a Super Cup. He'll probably win the Club World Cup. He's basically massively surpassed.
If you look at like raw goalkeeping ability, though, I mean, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here, and I do think Alisson is a better goalkeeper than Edison is. But if you put Alisson in the City team, he won't do half as good as Edison's doing.
Of course.
No, it depends who you play for and what type of team you play for. It depends how you portray as a goalkeeper, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3-1, by the way, now as well. They're 10 men down.
Yeah.
3-1.
That He Chang Huang's just scored for Wolves. He come on against United. He looked all right, you know. He looked pretty decent. He's just scored a goal for Wolves. They're back in it with 30 minutes to go, 4-1. But But yeah, listen, boys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I've got to go get my girlfriend, man, from the train station. Thank you for coming on, boys. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people like coming on the college show, especially for the first.
I love it.
Yeah,
so, even though I'm a bit, I have some blunders of takes, but yeah,
yeah. Now I'm gonna do some more of these. I'm gonna do like one a week or something like that. Maybe after games or shit. So if you guys want to come on again, man, just
I'll jump on, man. No problem.
That'd be good.
No worries.
But yeah, I appreciate you boys.
Thanks for having us, man.
No worries, boys. Big up to Cundinho, Abdallah, and Luke there as well for jumping on. Like I say, I know people maybe get a little bit camera shy or they're not fully game to come on. Listen, it's a chill, it's a vibe. We're just talking football. You know what I mean? And if you get nervous, you can just jump off. It's very easy. But next time I do one, come on. You know what I mean? And we're just chatting. No one got cooked. Luke didn't get cooked. Abdallah didn't get cooked. No one's getting cooked. You know what I mean? So if you fancy it next time, then boom, get on it. Become a YouTube member, 18s and over, because I ain't about to get cooked. And yeah, we'll move. Listen, I'll be live again later on, 7 o'clock UK time, PM. We got all the pre-match build-up for Manchester City versus Newcastle United. It's going to be a difficult game. So make sure you join us. Kansas City, get the 3 points. We'll see. Catch you in a bit.